The Philippines today. Hello, everyone. Joining us tonight is policy analyst Mr. Adnan Ahmad. Good evening, Mr. Ahmad.
Good evening, Reyron. Thank you for having me on, and hello to anyone, whoever listens, who's going to listen to this show.
Yeah, as an advocate of education, how is the current system of education under the Marcos administration?
Ah, the well, it's still trying to recover from the pandemic. We are still trying to come up with programs to, how do we say this, to catch up on learning losses, which were sustained during the pandemic due to there being no face-to-face classes and children being well, not forced, but they had to stay home for a large part of at least 2 years. So yeah, we are trying to catch up with that. And just prior to that, I think if you don't know, we had these PISA results, where this is basically an international assessment, benchmark assessment that is conducted out of 79 countries. Filipino learners, they came last or second to the last in reading, math, and science. So even prior to the pandemic, we had a lot of catching up to do, and the pandemic perhaps just exacerbated that problem. So yeah, but definitely under the Marcos admin so far, steps are this problem is being recognized, has been recognized, and they are taking steps to try and get our learners back on track and even beyond, so that learning outcomes in the country could improve moving forward.
What specific measures are needed to enhance the quality of education in the basic education system in the Philippines?
Mm, well, for one, again, these are all, as I mentioned before, these are all my personal thoughts, nothing. So just my personal opinion. For me, number one, uh, there's this saying in education that the system of education cannot be better than better than its teachers, meaning thereby the teachers set the benchmark. You may have everything else, but if you don't have good teachers, your education system will not be where you would want it to be ideally. So yeah, perhaps the country could look into investing more in our teachers, especially at the pre-service level, so that uh, they may be aided to do what they're supposed to do in a much better way. This is not to say that they're not doing well right now, but there definitely is room for improvement. So in line with that, the government needs to invest and come up with a framework, which actually there is already a law that was passed, I think, last year. It's called the Excellence in Teacher Education Act. So it would be good if we can follow through on that and then execute it as per it was envisioned to be implemented as.
Mentioned several times the teachers in the public school. How
Mhm.
competent are they? And does the government provide faculty development like those from the countryside?
With respect to our teachers, they are one of the most dedicated professionals in the country. That much I can say. Percent of our teachers are all in public schools, by the way. So if you're studying to become a teacher, most likely chances are you'll end up in a public school. Now we found out a couple of years ago, 2 to 3 years ago, when we were looking at the issue. Um, CHED, what CHED is teaching them at the pre-service level is not necessarily what they need when they go on to the field, when they're teachers. There's a mismatch in the competencies. So that was one. So therefore, you kind of, you do not equip them properly for what they need on the ground. And then another one, for example, that I feel the system does not adequately utilize them to maximize their potential is right. Like I just talked about the spiral curriculum. You can put a teacher there, let's say, who teaches physics or under the spiral, who teaches science and then they teach physics. But you're asking of them to teach biology, chemistry. That is not their specialty. That is not what they were taught. So yeah, the system needs to make certain adjustments so that the these teachers can realize their full potential and they can do what they're supposed to do, teach. Now I come to that point. Why? We also realized actually this is a long-standing problem. Teachers, as you know, are asked to do a lot of administrative work along with teaching.
Mr. Adnan Ahmad, thank you for your time. Well appreciated.
Ah, thank you also likewise for having me.
The Philippines Today. I am Reyron del Rosario. Catch us for our next episode only here in IPDCI News Channel.